Neil, another week of training in the bag. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good, but again, I'm reminding myself and my staff are reminding ourselves that we felt this way a lot at the end of a lot of weeks, because I think the players, the staff are putting in good work, but we're all very keenly aware that it's what we do tomorrow that matters.
Absolutely. A wee reflection back to last Saturday. I mean, I think everybody who was a Rovers minded person in the stadium last week, it really stung losing the goal like that. I mean, from your own perspective then, how do you lift yourself, and then how do you go around lifting the players after something like that?
Yeah, I think first of all, before coming to that, I think last weekend, the players should take a lot of credit for the way they came back, but the start of the game wasn't good enough, and I think it's a big part of our job, the team, to get things lifted and give the fans real something to get behind them. We didn't do that. I think they did in the second half, and I think we all felt that we were going to go on and win that game, but we didn't. So the first part we need to take care of. In terms of how you respond, listen, I think this is where you need to really look in. It's because it's easy to just say, oh, we lost the last minute goal, it was a little bit of an individual mistake, but it's been a pattern. Of course it's been a pattern in terms of we've lost, I think, 4 that I can think of, 3 in my time, 1 just prior to taking the job, that have taken points away from us, whether it be a point or 3. So a big part of it is going right, the disappointment on Saturday night and on Sunday, but then it's about me as a manager and the staff going, right, how do we address this, what can we control within that, and we've done that, and we've as a group we've done that, and now it's about putting it to work, putting it to work tomorrow and putting it to work the rest of the season, so that we can start better and not lose late goals. Because the biggest thing I'd say in the games that we have lost the late goals, it wasn't like they were coming, it wasn't like they were expected, it was completely against the run of play. So that's what we've started to look at. Why?
Yeah, I think even from my own sort of point of view, I noticed at full time there wasn't boos or anything. It was almost a bit of disbelief, I think, because as a fan base and from people watching the game, you could understand that the guys had that second half performance, and the players that had come on, they really gave everything to get us back to 2-2, and as you said, the game felt like it was going to go one way and it was going to be us. But so the disbelief in the sense of how have we lost that, but from your side then, as a manager, man management is a big part of the modern day game. How do you then go and lift the players collectively and individually?
Yeah, I've got to lift them in respect to show them how we're going to improve. Players want to get better, teams want to get better, teams, they want to win, so it's up to me to go, here's what we need to do. Sometimes that's showing them the positives, and then sometimes it's telling them some home truths. I think after the game on Saturday there was a couple of home truths, because while we did more than enough to at least get a point, but certainly win the game as well, I think, based on a lot of things, we need to take control of some of the other things. I spoke about the start of the game, even the end of the game, but then it's about coming in and going, right, here's the way forward, and as I say, the players have been great at doing that, and I think that's, as I say, man management is certainly not about being negative all the time, even though we all feel when you lose a game that disappointing. Sometimes we've got to look at the bigger picture, but there's other times that we all need to know how we're going to get better.
Absolutely, and I think it's difficult in the time to look at the positives that were there, but some of them, Cody David had a fantastic second half performance, and the introduction of Lewis Gibson as well, winning the penalty. How pleasing is it that these guys who have been on the fringes of the squad can come in and actually have big impacts on the game? Yeah,
those two, obviously great. Second half, like Cody was excellent, Gibbo was excellent, but even in the first half, the chances that we created and the chances that we unfortunately missed, you score one of them, it changes the whole complexion. We didn't, and that's again something that we can do better. But I'd look at the last 2 weeks and the way that the players have came back, the way that they've been resilient. That next part, if we scored, say, the winner at Partick, it would be a great day. Even here, 2-2, everyone in the stadium felt we're going to go on. Morton were dead on their feet, we're going to go on and win this, and I think that's why there was a disbelief, and probably one of the things that we need to guard against. The late goals that we've lost we've been on top. We've been on top, even against Hamilton here when it was 3-3. At the time I felt we were on top. We've got to be very focused in those moments, even when we want to go and win the game, take care of the defence side of things, and that's something that we'll need to improve.
And when you look back at that Hamilton game you've mentioned, the last time we played them, it was such a strange ending to the game. Do you use that as a bit of fuel for the boys? We're going to Hamilton on Saturday. Do you use that as a bit of fuel to say right the wrongs of what happened the last time we played these guys?
Yeah, I'm sure that's part of it. You know, we felt we let 3 points get away. I'm sure Hamilton feel the same. They'll want to prove a point to us as well. I think we've got bigger things. You know, we've got to do well to get, you know, Rovers up the table. That's what our big focus is. Like, we need to get points on the board. So whether it's Hamilton or Falkirk, you know, or Morton that we're playing, we want to start winning more games. So that's our big focus.
And what challenges do we think we're going to face from this Hamilton side away?
Yeah, well, we've got loads of great attacking options. You know, I've worked with Wally Shaw. He's scored a lot of goals this season. O'Hara's a very good player. They've got real great options at that end of the pitch, and they've scored goals. So we're going to have to deal with that. We're also mindful that they've had some good results, but the last couple of games have probably not been as good for them as well. So I think a big thing is about focusing ourselves. The things that we need to do, those little things at either end of the game, because I think a big part in the middle is good.
Absolutely, and you know, it's not just a big game on Saturday, it's a weekend of celebrations for Raith Rovers supporters. On Sunday we go to the Dean Park Hotel to remember 30-year anniversary of the famous Cocoa Cup final win that we had. Now, as a Killie fan, I think you were almost playing a little part in that in the stands, watching your assistant score a hat-trick against your team. Who'd have thought 30 years on you'd be enjoying and celebrating this momentous occasion?
As you said, I didn't think 30 years on I'd be toasting Raith Rovers winning the League Cup, especially when they knocked out Kilmarnock in the way. I do remember watching the final and supporting them because Tommy Burns had not long left Kilmarnock, so I was quite pleased to see him not win at the time. But I think it's a great reminder, right, of how great it is to be part of a football club, especially during those periods. And it's a thing that I'm always emphasising to players, is we want to be back here in 20 years, 25 years, celebrating a special moment, because for all the things that you get with football as a job, it's those things that last the test of time. I was very fortunate not long ago to be back celebrating a title that I'd won as Wolves as a player, and I really hope in many years to come we're offered the same, because we've been successful here. So it's great that the team's getting recognised, and so they should, because what a phenomenal achievement and what a real purple patch in the club's history, and that's a big part of why I came here, because I know what it's capable of being in the stands at Stars Park when it's been full, and in those days back in the 90s. So look forward to Sunday night, but I'm already looking forward to 25 years time when we're hopefully celebrating something special.
Fingers crossed, let's start tomorrow.
Yep,
Cheers, Neil.
Cheers.
Thanks.